Hello students, welcome back. This is Aman Sharma and today I'm going to start a new chapter in history, class 7, chapter 10, 18th century political formation. 18th century means the period between 700 to 1800. After the death of Aurangzeb, what happened? How later Mughals continuously declined in their power and how some states independent themselves emerged as independent states. So let's see. So let's start first with the later Mughals. So all the Mughal rulers who came after the death of Aurangzeb, as we all know, Aurangzeb died in 1707, and after his death a lot of Mughal rulers sat on the throne of Delhi, but they were not actually that much powerful as the earlier Mughals, means the Akbar, Babur, Shah Jahan, Jahangir and Aurangzeb. So what happened? What situation actually formed that these new independents announced their independence? The first is depleted. This Aurangzeb depleted all the military and financial resource because he was having an ambition to conquer the whole South India, Deccan India. So he went on continuous expedition towards the South India, and due to that he depleted his military and financial resources. Then it became difficult to keep a check on their powerful Mansabdars. Slowly, the Mansabdars became very powerful in the late period of later Mughals, and that's why the Mughal rulers, were not able to keep on check on these powerful Mansabdars. The nobles appointed as governors, the nobles, those who were appointed as the governors of these Mughal provinces, often started controlling the revenue and military administration also. Revenue means Diwani and military means Faujdari. So these administration was was actually controlled by these governors, these powerful noble governors. As the governors consolidated their control over the province, as they were able to establish their rule over their province, the periodic remission of revenue to the capital declined. Slowly, the revenue that were previously reaching to the Mughal capital, that is Delhi, was started declining. Peasants and zamindars, as everyone was saying that Mughal ruler, the Mughal empire is slowly declining. They were becoming weak and weak day by day. So they started, peasants and zamindars, they also started revolting against the Mughal empire. Last, later Mughals, unable to arrest the gradual shifting powers into the hand of provincial governors. As I told you, that these provincial governments who were appointed as the Subedar of the provinces, they started controlling revenue and military administration. So this power shifting, the later Mughals were unable to actually restrict this power shifting uh, to these provincial governors, local chieftains and other groups also. Now some important invasion also led to the decline of these Mughal empire. Here you can see the picture of Nader Shah. He actually was the king of Persia. He invaded India in 1739. He entered Delhi without any trouble because Mughal emperor was actually weak at that time, very weak at that time. He plundered the Delhi, the whole city, the capital city of Delhi, and took away with him the famous Kohinoor diamond as well as peacock throne of Shah Jahan. He annexed Afghanistan from the Mughals also and made part of his Persian empire. So you can see here Nadir Shah was one of the important invader who invaded India, and with the help of this weak Mughal empire only, he was able to conquer, he was able to annex the part of Afghanistan also from Mughals. Then the second invasion was of Ahmadabad Ali. He actually was the ruler of Afghanistan, means he was actually a chief of Nadir Shah, and Nadir Shah granted him Afghanistan, and he was appointed as the ruler of Afghanistan by Nadir Shah himself. He invaded India 5 times between the period of 1748 and 1761. 1761 is the year when the third battle of Panipat was uh, fought. Then Mughal Empire seek the help of Maratha against the Afghans, means Marathas were one of the biggest enemy of the Mughal Empire. But in this war, Marathas helped Mughal Empire in fighting with Ahmadabad Ali. But after all these alliances and all, Marathas and Mughals were defeated. So, which group of people challenged Mughal authority for the longest time in Aurangzeb's reign? Means which group of people were there who always used to challenge Mughal authority, especially in the Aurangzeb's reign? That was Maratha. Here is the picture of Ahmad Shah Abdali. Now, emergence of new state. So, three different types of states were there which actually emerged in this period. The state that were old Mughal provinces, as I told you, that the Subedars who were appointed, the nobles who were appointed as the governor of these Mughal provinces, they also announced their independence when the Mughal rule became very weak. States that have enjoyed considerable independence under the Mughal as Vatanjagi, mostly the Rajput rulers. Then after those states which were totally opposite or enemy of Mughal Empire, like Marathas, Sikhs and Jats. Now the first that we are going to study about the states which were old Mughal provinces, and here the governors announced their independence. The first is Hyderabad. Nizam ul Mulk Ashraf Jah, he was the person who actually acted as a wazir in the period of Farrukh Shayyar. Farrukh Shayyar was the Mughal emperor, and was appointed as the governor of Deccan province during 1720 to 22. Ashraf Jah had already gained control over its political and financial administration. As I told you that generally these governors took control of financial and military administration. He also brought many skilled soldiers and administrators from northern India. He appointed mansabdars and granted jagirs, and ruled quite independently without seeking any direction from Delhi. As the Delhi already became very weak, so they were not taking any decision, any kind of direction from Delhi, and they able to rule, and especially Nizam ul Mulk Ashraf Jah was able to establish his own empire. Hyderabad and Maratha, the constant struggle. The Hyderabad and Maratha both, because one side there was Maratha who were the supporter of Hindu, and second side there were the Hyderabad, the Nizam, who were actually the Muslims. So there was a constant struggle between Marathas and independent Telugu warrior chiefs who were known as Naikas. They were in constant struggle with the Hyderabad. What was the ambition? Their ambition was to control. I'm talking about Ashraf Jah. His ambition was to control the rich textile producing areas of the Coromandel coast. Here in the map, Coromandel coast is shaded in red color. Britishers were becoming increasingly powerful. As the Britishers were becoming more and more powerful, so they also wanted Hyderabad, means Nizam also wanted, Ashraf Jah also wanted to restrict them here only. Then the second old Mughal province was Awadh, and here the person Burhan ul Mulk Sadat Khan was appointed as the Subedar of Awadh in 1722. This Awadh was actually a very prosperous region, controlling rich alluvial Ganga plain and main trade route between North India and Bengal. Buran also held the combined offices of Subedari, Diwani and Fauzdari. Diwani is important for money purpose, Fauzdari is important for control, for power. So both were controlled by these Subedar. The third important old Mughal province was Bengal, which was actually made independent from the Mughals by Murshid Quli Khan. He was appointed as the Nabi, means the deputy governor of the province, and commanded the revenue administration of the state. He started, as he was appointed as the deputy governor, he started taking control of the revenue administration in the state. He transferred all the Mughal Zagirdars to Odisha, and revenue was collected in cash with great strictness from all zamindars. In the place of Mughal Zagirdars, he appointed his own people. Many zamindars had to borrow money from bankers and money lenders, and those unable to pay were forced to sell their land to larger zamindars. The Alwardi Khan, the second Nawab of Bengal, who became Nawab of Bengal in 1740, was Alwardi Khan. He was having close connection with the state in his period. The relationship of bankers and state was very close to each other. It was the same relationship between the bankers and state was noticeable in Hyderabad and Awadh also. Banking house of Jagat Seth was extremely prosperous. Jagat Seth was the banker. Next, the second type of state which tried to become independent was Vatanjagis of the Rajputs. Rajput kings particularly belonged to Amber and Jodhpur, mostly Rajasthan and Gujarat. In exchange, they were permitted to enjoy considerable autonomy in their Vatanjagis as they provide some particular amount of money to the Mughal emperor. Ajit Singh was the ruler of Jodhpur. He was a very active participant of the Mughal court, and he claimed Subedari of rich province such as Gujarat, Raja Ajit Singh of Jodhpur, and the Malwa of Savai Raja Jai Singh of Amber. So these Subedari was actually granted to these Rajas. Raja Ajit Singh got Gujarat Subedari, and Savai Raja Jai Singh got Malwa's Subedari. These offices were renewed by Governor Nader Shah in 1713 only. Next are the states which were totally enemy of the Mughal Empire. Three states were there: Sikhs, Marathas and Jats. The Sikh Khalsa Panth. Let's start with the Khalsa Panth, which was introduced by the Guru Gobind Singh in 1699. It was a political entity of the Sikhs. Several battles were fought by Guru Gobind Singh against Rajput and Mughal rulers, and after his death, Khalsa rose in revolt against the Mughals because he was humiliated. Guru Gobind Singh was humiliated and killed by the British. The Khalsa declared their sovereign means their own government. They established their own government by striking their own coins and establishing their own administration between the Sutlej River and Yamuna River. And who was the person who actually lead this Khalsa Panth after the death of Guru Gobind Singh? Banda Bahadur. You can see the picture of Banda Bahadur. Banda Bahadur, he was the disciple of Guru Gobind Singh. He was also captured in 1750 and was executed in 1716. Now the administration of Sikh. So there were lots of jathas. They were later called as missiles. There were the number of bands. Number of bands were called as the jathas. Combined force was called as Dal Khalsa. If we combine all the jathas together, it became a combined force and it was known as Dal Khalsa. They all at the time of Diwali and Baishakhi, they met at Amritsar to take collective decisions. that were known as Gurumathas. Rakhi was a kind of tax which was actually collected by from the cultivators. It was the actually amount of total 20% of the produce. Maharaja Ranjit Singh. So in the period of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, Maharaja Ranjit Singh was a very eminent personality. He actually combined all the different, as the Sikhs were divided into different parts. Maharaja Ranjit Singh combined all the territories together and formed his independent kingdom, and he put Lahore as his capital in 1799. And there was a very famous slogan, Raj Karega Khalsa, and this slogan was given by Guru Gobind Singh himself. And 1765 again Khalsa declared their sovereign. The Marathas. The Marathas were one of the important enemy of the Mughal Empire. The founder of Maratha was Shivaji. He carved out a stable kingdom with the support of powerful warrior families who were known as Deshmukhs, and the Maratha army was mainly consisted of mobile peasant pastoralists who were known as Kinbis. After the death of Shivaji, Chitpavan Brahman served as Shivaji's successors as Peshwa. Means Chitpavan Brahmans became the principal minister of the Shivaji successors, and they were known as Peshwa. It became a powerful regional kingdom, sustained opposition to Mughal rule. Now, between 1720 to 1761, the Maratha Empire expanded a lot. Malwa and Gujarat were seized from Mughals by the 1720s as the Mughals became very weak. By 1730s, the Mughal king was recognized as the overlord of the entire Deccan Peninsula. Means Maratha kings were able to establish their kingdom all over the Deccan Peninsula, and they also, for money requirement, they also levied Chauth and Sardeshmukhi type of taxes in the entire region of Maratha. So here you can see the map of 1760, where you can find this pink color shaded region are the region of Marathas. So till 1760, Maratha became very powerful and they were able to expand their kingdom a lot. Then along with this type of expansion, they expansion brought enormous resources, but it came at a price. Means these Maratha kings were actually behaving like a hostile. These military campaigns which Maratha did, they also became hostile towards other rulers, and other rulers also became unhappy and hostile towards Marathas. As a result, in 1761 war, nobody helped Maratha and they were defeated by Ahmad Shah Abdali. Marathas' effective administrative system. Once conquest was done, revenue demands was gradually introduced, taking local conditions into account. According to the local condition, by seeing the local condition, the Maratha king used to put revenue demand in front of them. In the period of Marathas, wherever the Marathas expanded, they also expanded the agriculture. This allowed Maratha chief the resource to raise powerful army. So basically, with the help of this money, as the agriculture encouraged, many peasants became prosperous. They also gave lot of revenue to Marathas, and hence a strong Maratha army build up. Now here is the third enemy of Mughals, the Jats. As the Mughal rulers or the Mughal empire became weak, becoming weak and weak day by day. So they also tried to expand their kingdom. One of the important ruler of this Jats was the Churaman. He acquired control on the west of the city of the Delhi, and by 1680s they tried to control the region between the two imperial cities of Delhi and Agra. Jats were the prosperous agriculturists also. They were very prosperous. They were having money also. They were having a lot of money. They were prosperous. At Panipat, they were actually scattered in around the areas of Panipat and Ballabgarh, became important trading centers in the period of Jats also. Surajmal, he was the second important ruler of Jat. His kingdom was at Bharatpur. He also emerged as a strong state after the death of last powerful Mughal emperor Aurangzeb. Okay, so lastly, here is a map, and you can see some areas where Marathas expanded, where expanded. Here, in this region, Sikhs were expanded. Maratha were situated only the region between Jaipur and Delhi. Here you can see Awadh. Then Maratha were one of the important enemy who became independent in the period of later Mughal, and they expanded a lot. Then here Hyderabad, you can see one of the old Mughal province. Here is Murshidabad or Bengal. The previous capital of Bengal was Murshidabad. So here also, so here you can see that how different rulers or different subedars, or whether the enemies of the Mughals, whether the old Mughal provinces or the Rajput, they all tried to expand themselves in the period of later Mughals. So thank you everyone for listening. I hope you all enjoyed. Like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Take care. Have a nice day.